Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Pause the video right now to check out my social media, my radio show, and thatdrummerguy.com. And most of all, enjoy the following presentation.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so the internet connection here is not so good.
Completely understandable, but thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Yeah, thanks. No problems.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album Palo, which is going to be coming out already next Friday through Spinefarm Records. I've gotten the chance to be able to check out this album over the past week, and I'm just falling more in love with it every time that I check it out. I mean, that's the great thing that has always happened with this band is every time that I check out a new album, there's always a reason to go back to it because you're able to explore so much new stuff every time that you go back to it, and this is no exception. I really love what you guys are doing here.
Oh, thank you very much. We like the album as well, so it's great to hear your words.
Oh, I'm glad to be of service. So, with that said, how did the songwriting process begin for the new album?
Actually, it was, I had already one or two songs ready after the recordings of the Seventh Symphony, but we had three of us moved to Helsinki area, which is 600 kilometers away from the Oulu area where I and my brother live. So practically rehearsing is kind of impossible nowadays. And then I had to build a new house for myself. I moved to my hometown, and there was 2-3 years of we just did shows basically. So in year or 2 years ago, we tried to push things a little bit up and get the new album on the way, and then here we are today.
And it's a great thing to be able to see you back with a new album. I mean, already so soon. I mean, with the fact that it's coming out next Friday. I mean, it's always great when there's a new album that's going to be coming out from you guys. And as much as I love the last album, I mean, it's great that after this time that the work eventually was able to come together and being able to put out a new album.
Yeah, well, there was no question that we couldn't do it, but it just took 5 years this time. I think the next one, it's not going to take so long, so we are on the schedule right now, so I guess in 2 years, 3 years, maybe next album is up again, so it's feeling good at the moment.
So, with that said, with the album coming out so soon, I mean, already with it being next Friday, what has been the reception to the album that you've heard so far?
Can you repeat?
Oh, my apologies.
Can you repeat?
Oh, sure thing. I was saying, with the album already coming out next week, what has been the reviews that you've heard for the album so far?
Actually, I have read only one review. It was good, but I haven't Googled, so I'm not so interested in the reviews. But I guess there will be reviews out next week. Probably there will be a lot of reviews, and I think I read some of them, but not all of them.
And that's actually a really good way to go about things. I mean, when you're in a band, especially one that's been around as long as you have, I mean, you want to continue to write music that you enjoy rather than feeling like you have to appease everybody. I mean, as long as you're making the music that you want to make and you can be happy with it at the end of the day, that's the right direction to go in.
Yeah, that has always been the main line for us. That's when I write some song and then we listen it together or we listen to it through Dropbox links or MP3 files or whatever. But if everyone in the band likes the song, then we are going to work with it. But if somebody says that it's not good, then we dump it. So it's pretty easy. And when the song is ready and we like it, that's enough. It's just a bonus if somebody else likes it too.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that's what's most important, making sure that everyone in the band is enjoying the music that they're making. You're writing the songs that you want to make, and then at the end of the day, going into the studio and recording those songs that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way we want to do the things, and I guess when the time is that I don't like my music, then I stop writing. So so that's pretty easy.
Well, it's definitely great to hear from the fan perspective that everything is still sounding very inspired, very fresh, and it sounds like the band is wanting to write this music. And even if it does take 5 years in between albums at this point, I mean, I'm glad to see that everything was able to line up to make this album, because with all the struggles of being in a band, it definitely sounds like everything worked out with this album, and I really love what came from it.
Yeah, I think, what can I say? It's it was we have never thought about that we couldn't do a new album and do new music, and this time it was 5 years process, but at the end we were all really excited about the new material, and the songs turned out very well, and the spirit is high. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm glad to hear that as well.
Yeah.
And with that, of course, to be able to promote the album, singles come along with that. And I noticed that Evil Kin was one of the songs that was selected to be able to show off this album. How was it decided that that would be the song to be able to show off the album?
Well, I guess it's kind of a song. It has the main riff there. It starts with the riff, which is invented in 1990 or 91. so it's pretty old. So I had that riff for 25 years, 30 years in my mind that I have to use it again. It's on a demo tape we did in the 1991 or something. So this was the time I had to really work on it, and I little bit changed it. And then there is the Kalmah of today with the melodies and the chorus and stuff like that. So I think it's a perfect combination to show people what we were and what we are today. That was the reason.
Yeah, and I was going to say that myself. I mean, it definitely sounded like something that can capture so many different fans of whatever era of the band they enjoy. I mean, and the fact that it did come from those original demos back in the day, I mean, it's great to see that no matter how long it takes, I mean, if a riff is good enough, it will eventually be used.
Yeah, that's true. And there's another thing we did about 5 or 6 demos. We had a different name back then. It was Ancestor. And we couldn't get the recording deal, so now we have been on every album. We have those old demo tape riffs and the melodies, probably. So at the end, we could have, or how to say it. We are kind of striking back, so we couldn't get the deal with those riffs and those melodies and those songs, so we are recording them again, and people like it. So the record labels were wrong at those days, and we were right.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about being in this day of age where studio quality is so much higher now, and you can get that really great production, and just really being able to show off those riffs, and even with it taking this amount of time, I mean, it's great to hear it in this 2017, 2018 production, hearing those riffs are written back in the day.
Yeah, that's true, and on the other hand, we didn't. I don't like the kind of. It's so easy today to make the good sounds with the computer. So I hate that. I think pretty much all metal today sounds the same. So people are using computers or whatever techniques to preamp the sound or something. So this time we wanted to do it, or we have always done it in the old-fashioned way that. We have the amps and maybe 1 or 2 pedals, and that's it. So old school. We love it.
And honestly, that's all you really need. And, that, again, that's what's making this album stand out to me. And just like you said, there is so much when it comes to the production side where it does make bands and artists sound exactly the same because it sounds like they're all using the same instruments. You don't get that with this album. It sounds like a full-fledged album written by a group of musicians that wanted to write in this style of music with its own distinct sound. And it's so strange to say that that is a different thing to be able to do in 2018.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of bands today, I don't know, maybe they have the home studios and stuff like that, and it's easy to record the riffs or the solos day and day and day. If they have booked a studio, it's a lot of money, so it's easier to make those things at home. It doesn't cost anything, but we want to do it in the studio. I want there to be a guy that pushes the button, rec button. I don't want to push that button. I just want to play.
And it's also good from that outside perspective, too, when you are able to get a producer or an engineer or someone that's outside the band to be able to get a little different perspective of the band as well, just in case they have an idea that really could fit well with the album.
Yeah, we have thought about it with, I think, 3 or 4 previous albums and this album as well, but we haven't had any producers. We have always put the album together, and that's one reason it takes usually a little bit more time. We want to make sure that every arrangement is on the way, and every time we enter the studio, we have the songs so ready that we just play. We just make the right sounds, and that's it. Then we just play. We know everybody knows what to do, and it's a very smooth process always.
And that's also got to save on studio time as well. I mean, with the fact of being so prepared to be able to go in the studio, just take a minimal amount of tracks, hopefully, just to be able to get everything right and making sure that you have the right tones, the right instruments that you want to use, and just being able to get in and out of the studio and just being able to focus on the new album.
Yeah, that's true, and that's why we only usually have the 10 songs or 8 songs or 9 songs. We usually have something like 13 or 14 songs, but when we are preparing to the studio, we just dump the shit songs there and and concentrate on the real ones. And but yeah, we are well prepared when we enter the studio, so it's easy.
So from the songwriting process, what is it like for you personally when you have a song like Evilkin, which has riffs from decades ago, compared to a song that has brand new riffs compared to it on the same album?
Yeah, it's every song has a pretty much different process. I think the Evilkin, I did it almost 1 year. It was haunting me, so to say. It was I kind of had the riff, and then I had one melody, and then I just had to lay the song down and wait for a month and try again, and at the end I made it. So it's kind of different. For example, if I take the Blood Ran Cold, it was I figured out the melody in my head when I was picking cloudberries in the Finnish swamp. So when I got back home, I remembered the melody, and then I recorded it, and it was very, very fast. It was half an hour or something. I had the song ready, pretty much ready. So there are different kind of processes, but it always needs a inspiration. That's important for me. Without that inspiration, there's nothing.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And, it's just, there is so much that can go into writing a song. And it's, it's so great to be able to see that, whether it's from the conception to the band to brand new material that's being showcased on a new album, it's always a great feeling when you're able to have these collections of riffs that are able to work together in the song form, and being able to get it in the right track order, get some great artwork behind it, and just make some great music on a great new album. And it's great to see from start to finish all 10 tracks that are being shown off. It just works so perfectly well together on this time around.
Yeah.
So, with that said, and of course, with the new album coming out next Friday, what is going to be next for the band?
Well, we have a Finnish release tour, 4 gigs here in Finland. Pretty rare for us. We haven't done so much release tours or release shows anyways. And then we have one festival show in Finland. And then we have some negotiations going on about some little tours and festival shows outside Finland, but nothing is sure yet. So we'll see what happens.
Well, regardless of what happens, I'm glad to see that the album is going to be getting some live promotion. I mean, with as much as I love hearing the songs in the recorded form, I mean, it's great to see that these songs will get some representation live.
Yeah, that's true. We love live shows and love to do those, and hopefully we get some good offers, so we will be able to play those live.
Yeah, and hopefully that happens as well, because although I haven't had the opportunity to be able to see you live, I always just imagine that a show is just going to be able to have this great representation of what the band is all about in a live setting, whether it's playing the classic songs, whether it's representing the new album, playing songs that you just really much enjoy. I just imagine it's going to be a great retrospective of what the band is all about.
Yeah, we usually have songs from every album, so on the live show, and now we are preparing for the Finnish shows, and we are taking five of the new songs to the set list, and then we have, I guess we have a song from every album on the set list, so people can hear music from Kalmah for 20 years of period or era. So that's nice.
And with the fact with the band is doing more of this approach of like doing the festival shows or doing mini touring or whatever the case is, how hard is it to be able to decide what songs you're going to be showing off live?
Well, we have played a lot of shows, so it's a kind of on that one we trust the reaction from the audience, so it's kind of we do have the basic set or basic songs we have in the set, and we always try new 1 or 2 songs, different songs we haven't played for a while, and then we can react to the audience response, and that's how the set is made. So we play for the audience, and we try to learn from the audience what to play, so it's kind of a work together thing.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense. I mean, when someone's going to check out the band live, you want to make sure that they're going to enjoy it, and you want to make sure that you're going to enjoy playing it as well. So when you do find that happy medium of getting the right songs that's just going to make for a great night, it's going to make for a great show. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, once again, thank you so very much for taking this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on in the world of Kalmah right now, and of course talking about the brand new album which is coming out this Friday through Spinefarm Records. I thoroughly enjoy the album from start to finish, and I just really love where you guys are at right now in 2018. I'm so happy to see that there's going to be some live representation that's going on, and already thinking about the next album too, you know, knowing that you want to do it in less than 5 years and being able to continue on with the band. And it's great to see that everything's going in the right direction with the band.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are really happy to see what happens after the next release. I think things are going bigger again, so I don't know where we are in a couple of years, but hopefully live somewhere with the new album.
Oh, absolutely. Well, before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Well, I don't think so. You had good questions, so I think this is it.
Oh,